Hello, lovely. It's me, Fiery Grace the Gifted, and I'm here with a reading for you. I have a feeling that you really need this, so I'm just going to dive in. Let's find out what you need to know right now. Wow. Wait for perfect timing because at a moment's notice, you're going to know exactly why you have felt like you're waiting in the wings. Take the time that you have right now to think through as much as you can because it's about to shift and you're not even going to have time for yourself, not even just to think. Wow. 6 of Cups. Something from the past. You've been thinking about it a lot too. Whether, in a positive way or a negative way, it has been on your mind. Whoa. And now 6 of Swords. Okay. So something from the past is returning and moving forward. I mean, I hope that this is reunion for as many people that can hear my voice. And if it isn't, if for some reason there is something else, I hope it's something that if someone asked you right now if you couldn't have your person just yet, but there was something you could have, what would you want? And I hope it's that because I feel like you deserve it right now. You've really been putting in work to maintain that level head. You've been working so hard. You've been doing way better than you ever have before. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. What is this about? I mean, it's Ace of Cups. Something new. A new home. For some of you, that's okay. Finding this new sense of home with a person, or it could even be waiting to hear back about the, approval. This is something that almost feels like it's like I'm so close to the first day of the rest of my life, or at least one of the things that would make me feel that way. And I want you to know that a part of the reason why, even now, after all the work you've done, you still feel like you're being tested is because this is the refining process. Divine is going to put you through some things to make sure that you really know what you're doing. Not because you don't, but so that you can have a moment to test the waters before you dive in, so that you can feel more confident in what you are about to do and what is about to come your way. What are you not thinking? Like, what have you not thought to ask or have not considered about this next stage? Whew. The Fool. It's going to be something so unexpected that I don't think it's something that's right under your nose. Sometimes that happens where it's like, "Oh my gosh, it was in front of me the whole time." This feels like no. It's unexpected. Meaning, yeah, it could be something from your past and some memory you have, but you definitely didn't think it was about to happen. So for some of you, it's not necessarily like, "Oh, I'm waiting for the approval on something," because that means you knew it was coming, hoping it was coming. This is like, no, no, no. I didn't even know I had all this other stuff on my mind. So this is exciting because I think it's kind of linked to both of these energies. On one side, there is something really good coming that maybe you were expecting. I don't know why. I feel like you'll know it when you see it, is what I should say. Like, oh, wow, this is the reason I've been feeling this. But this part says the way that it comes in is just indescribable. It's like I would, no one could have planned it. I couldn't, you can't make this stuff up. You can't write it. That kind of feeling. So, all right, let's get a few cards for you. Ooh. Are you coming out? Are you, if I do it, are you, no, they're not going to fall. I was going to see if they're going to fall forward. What? Okay. So many cards, though. If this is more than, it's one too many. Hold on. It's like there's so much I want to tell you, but I know. Okay, just If you're open to it, divine feminine, or if there's a divine masculine in the house, even cooler, right? The rare DMs that show up along the journey in the tarot. If you'd be willing to share maybe how you've been feeling, what you are hoping for, or if you're one of those people who says, no, Grace, there is something I'm coming in. Maybe it's going to come about expecting, but it's going to come out in an unexpected way. But I think I know what it is. If you're there even, share it. Let me know. Okay. There we go. Okay. One more, yeah? So I don't know what this guy is, but he wants to come out. All right, so big picture, what do you need to know? 9 of Pentacles. Yes, they see that you have felt very much alone. And again, I don't think this is just referring to relationship-wise, like not having your person around. This is that feeling of being surrounded by people, but no one understands. Being surrounded by people who should know and should love you and think they know, but they really have no idea what you're going through. But this is also about you doing everything you can to make sure that every day, every moment, even the tough ones, becomes a lesson learned or a learning lesson. So either I figure out what I was missing, or in the process, I make sense of things as I go. And I think this says honor yourself. You have been holding space so well, and you've been putting up with so much. But again, what have you not considered? What, before this all comes to about, what is it that divine wants to bring to your attention and say, but have you thought about this? Wow. Yet again, we have this really beautiful, important card showing up in the front, and then in the back we have this major arcana that says what you have not considered is there's something bigger, something, or even it's, you know, it's the same thing you're thinking about, but on a bigger scale. And it's this standstill, this energy you've been in, it's temporary. Be yourself here. Stand firm in who you know yourself to be. Don't slip up and slip out of character. And do your best to look at things from every angle, okay? Because sometimes certain energies can bring us into a space of, why me? Geez, why again this? Everything's happening at once. When it rains, it pours. And when that happens, all we can see is that it's like, okay, we have to stop. But you know the type of people, I'm one of these types of people. I know it can be annoying for some people, right? Where it's like, well, if you missed that light that day, it was probably because you were going to get into an accident. It's like, don't say that. And it's like, I'm just saying, maybe you missed your flight because if you had gotten on the plane, it wouldn't have made it to the destination. And it's like, oh, why would you think like that? And it's like, because even if it's just me trying to justify why everything's okay, there is still a part of that that is somewhat divine in nature, because you think about it from a perspective that says, stepping outside of my small world and not thinking about it from me and my perspective and how it affects my life, let me think about what divine might have been doing in this. And it's really incredible. So I think that right now your job is to try to step into your divine nature as much as possible about your physical world, looking for miracles and divine opportunities, but not like waiting expectantly for them. I mean, you can wait expectantly in a positive light, sure, but what I mean is looking in your life and saying, where could something miraculous happen? It's going to, I think, shift your thinking into being able to understand more what's happening right now. So what is happening? I mean, is there anything we could get some insight into to what it is that either is coming to us, or maybe we can get some information about behind the scenes? What do we need to know? Oh, okay, hold on. We saw this. So judgment. It's time to move in a new direction. But you have to make sure that whatever it is that, that means to you in terms of moving in a new direction, whether that's forward or west or, you know what I mean? Like whatever you've decided to do, it says, look at where you are today and not what brought you here. Many people make what I think would be deemed foolish plans that are based on how they landed in this spot. Instead of saying, let's start over. Every time we get a chance, let's start over. And I can't stop what happened in the past. I can't change what happened in the past. Wow, this is the 6 of Cups and 6 of Swords we saw. Okay. Oh, and that's the 12. Wow, that's the Hanged Man. It's like, this is how you get off the tree. We cannot actually change the past. You can't change the past, but you can learn from it. Mr. Lightwork would have done that in a better voice. I think that this is saying, look back. Sure. Honor the changes, honor all the things. But nothing about what has already happened, at least in the negative and how it's influenced where you are now, is going to come into the future unless you bring it with you. And so this says, stop, look at where you are right now. Because again, you see we had 9, but we had that ace. It's like 10 completion. Now we have 20, that ace 21 completion. Wow. And we saw 12 reversal of 21. So some of you are about to get brought out of the middle of something. We can have 2 different groups of people that this resonates for. And then we see that 1 and the 21 with the Fool energies letting us know that, hey, once this comes, the fresh new beginning is here again. We have not considered, because a lot of us haven't had a fresh start in a long time. We've forgotten what they mean, what they can feel like, what they can do, what they can inspire. And so this says, wow, think about even the Knight of Wands. What did it say in the beginning with the balance? It was like, you need to use oh my gosh, it's just folding in on itself. You need to use this time that you feel kind of like a little stagnant to your advantage, because it's about to pop off and you got to be ready. Oh my gosh, you got to be so ready. So, okay. I know I'm moving in a new direction, and when things do pop off, as they say, I learned that from Bad Girls Club, I think. Oh my gosh. I think that this is telling us when it does change, you're going to be moving so quickly that it's better to know. Almost, I don't know why, but I just saw a slingshot. It's better to know which direction you need to go right now before that actually starts. So you might not know exactly what it is that's about to happen, but you do know where you're going. You know you're headed in a new direction. You know that it's time to move on. We've seen multiple cards that are letting you know this. Okay. So what's happening here is Divine is rustling up this kind of irritation, even I think doubts and whatever you're going through, you're probably going to resonate when I say 4 of Cups. And I don't know what those cups are that you feel like, okay, enough is enough. But once that energy shifts, you are going to find that everything makes so much more sense than it did. And you're not going to feel that same heaviness. You're not going to feel you're walking through a portal. You're again, I know that's sometimes it's hard for people to connect with that phrase, but it's going to feel like that. And I think that it's very important for you to understand, if you can look at this from the divine perspective, because that's what divine is having us do, right? In your own life, taking what resonates, thinking about the facts, knowing where you want to go, no matter how far the slingshot is pulled back or the catapult, is pulled down, as long as you're facing the right direction, it's going to get you one step closer to where you're really supposed to be. So don't worry too much about what it is that's coming in. Be open and willing to accept it and know that it is your ticket out of this energy, okay? All right. I just want to make sure is there anything we need to know about divine masculine right now that might explain some energies or just help us relax? I don't know what's going on, but let's see. What do we need to know about divine masculine? Wow. Queen of Cups. So another, we're getting the ace, we're getting the cup. We see it. We see our 21 energy here, okay? But what is this telling us? That the divine masculine has become tender. They have become more gentle in their heart space. This is where I think the Six of Cups came up and pointed to our past. Because I think some of the memories that you have are the reason why you think you're going to be on that boat alone when it's time to move on. But this says, honey, your divine masculine might end up lost at sea. You don't know what's going to happen and how you guys are going to bump into each other. So just trust that this relationship is developing. It's rising up level by level on a 5D level, even when you can't see it. And if you can honor that the way you feel, you haven't been around them in many cases, or you haven't felt that loving energy from them. And yet in the spirit, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you heal, the more you love them. So how is it not possible to feel it the other way? So this says, try, if you can honor that, trust it. And if you find that so difficult, just like, no, Grace, I'm sorry, I don't think it's that. I want you to ask yourself where you got the idea that your divine masculine doesn't have the possibility of ever loving you. And if you say, well, it'll happen when we get into reunion, I have to say to you, no one is getting into reunion without that feeling there already. And if you were willing to be logical with yourself for a moment, you would admit, well, all right, that's true. I mean, what divine masculine is going to come into this space without actually, why bother? Why bother coming back around? So trust that as you continue to, and look at what we've got here, by the way. You see the water? You see everybody's in the water here? I think this says trust that as you continue to move forward, as you continue to grow and expand, it is more about unlearning the lies and the falsehoods of the twin flame journey. It is more about really, I think, honoring who you are as a divine feminine, not necessarily feeling like you have to claw and crawl forward like, oh, I'm gotta be more divine feminine. It's like you are. If you're on the journey, you are. Yeah, you can always heal, you can always get better, sure, but take a minute and be divine feminine. And again, if you're a DM in here, I hope that you are wise enough to take a breath and say, I am divine masculine. I want you guys to be able to get as much out of these readings as you can without them needing to be tailored to you. Think about it like sitting in a classroom where they teach a bunch of different stuff and you really only came for one thing. But hey, if I'm here, I'm not going to just ignore the other stuff. I'm going to see what I can make of it. What can I get out of it? So what's the challenge here? I mean, so far, I think it looks really beautiful. We've seen a lot of DM, DF, like separate, strong, positive energies. Oh my. And, where are you going? This is a moonstone, right? Oh my, the moon is fine. And then we see a lot of them together. And I feel like this is telling us like the renewal energy, the Six of Swords energy, where they're on the boat or these are moments of awakening. These are moments of releasing conflict. I think actually that the Six of Swords and the Judgment card are two very like close in energy cards. Think about being in the water. But there's the difference here, I think, is it's happening in the 3D and the 5D. So what is the challenge that you're facing that your person may very well be going through? Because it seems like we're kind of in the same place right now. Our inner feminine, I think, is craving that new home energy. We need a place to nest. Again, it could be to give birth to some spiritual thing, some spiritual gifting, but or light work or something we're meant to do. So what is it? What is it that we need to be prepared for, or at least energetically, what can we understand about what's to come? This is nuts. Page of Cups. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. It's telling us what we saw in that Ace of Cups. It is also, I think, saying it's about time you drank the Kool-Aid. If there was any cult-like, type of thing, Twin Flames is very easily turned into a cult. That's why it happens a lot, especially with people who have both twins. It's like, ooh, we've got the juice, come over here. If there was anyone that you could join ours. We say, try not to watch too much tarot, try not to pay too much for readings or pay for them at all. Like, that's kind of what we do around here. And I think that if you're listening to this right now and you're going through it and you really needed this little message, I just needed to pick me up, I just needed some clarity, and you're listening to me, Mr. Lightwork, twins that think a little differently than everyone else, I think it's because you are looking for something a little bit outside of the norm. Why? Because that's what you need when you have an unexpected blessing coming your way. You need something to put you in the right frame of mind. And I think this says, look, someone's coming. And for some of you, this is going to be a very unexpected reunion that just pops up. For some of you, you've been feeling it for so long now, like the past few weeks or months, that you're just like, whatever. And that's why it's unexpected, because you've already reached the peak of expectation and now you're kind of coming back down, like whatever. And I think that for those of you who this isn't about reunion and your divine masculine and you're like, honestly, Grace, I needed to hear from you, but I know it's not about them. I think this is simply saying that your abilities are going to help you draw in the people, the situations, the things that you really need for what comes next. No matter what is about to arrive, it's about to, I mean, you can kind of see again, you see the water. You see here, you can see the river behind her, but look, you notice something? It stops. She's creating it. And I think that when she gets the Ace of Cups, it kind of opens up the rest of her world. And so I think this is telling us, hey, it's really important to honor who we are, what we've been doing, and try to walk along this journey, not just the twin flame part, not just the DM stuff, but everything with a little bit more, I don't know why I said reverence for self, because I feel like that's not even really my deal. It's not my thing. But I think that is the extreme I would have to say to get some of you to realize, if you don't figure out soon how to do the whole like self-love thing, or how to fill up your tank, or if you don't figure this out and you get into reunion with this person who they don't have a trail of magic coming out of their butt creating water and creating gigantic oceans of love, like they are in a different type of tapped in energy, one that is more 3D, one that we really don't understand as well. It's perfect balance. Wow, I just realized that it started off freaking Two of Cups. This is not just about us, this is about them too. And I'm telling you, it's letting you know there's going to be moments in the beginning of the journey where you guys are going to need each other for different things. And you've really got to get a handle on being able to deal with kind of the lack of control that happens when divine is like, oh, here's some energy. And you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do with this? And then you're like, wait, where'd you go? It's like someone handing you a baby and then they just poof. Oh my gosh, now I'm talking about the baby. See, something's up. I'm getting chills now. Something's up. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I can kind of feel this sense of relief coming in. And I don't know if you feel it yet, but I think that it's coming because your person, that the whole pouring of the cup, it's like your person is slowly but surely, it's like their cup is coming up. It's their turn to kind of take the wheel. Some of them have already been doing that in the last few months. And really, there is a small group in the collective that has been doing it all 2022. Those DMs have been riding hard. They've been doing a great job. I think what this says is whatever's coming your way, whether, especially if it's, reunion, but whether or not it is, it's going to help you feel more excited, feel more positive, and believe in yourself, but it's also going to challenge you. And where you've been right now is kind of showing you how having someone hand you a baby or a bunch of energy and just tell you to, or not tell you anything. And now you're just supposed to figure it out, you know, and you know it's important, but you don't know what's going on and you're supposed to protect it and hold space for it. And it's like, what the f- if you can't do that now without another person in your energy, I know as much as you love them, they're going to get on your nerves too, dude. Like, it's just going to happen, you know? It's just normal for human beings. You need to be able to deal with what's yours. And that's what you've been doing. And I think, again, I think you've done a great job. I don't think this was to teach you or to, no, I think it was just giving you an opportunity to test the waters and to learn how to hold it. You know, it was like a, not a Lamaze class, but, you know, just like a parenting class, I guess, if you, again, going with the baby analogy. So what is the reassurance that divine wants to send you? The reason why I was called to do this kind of simple, focused, let's just get to the bottom of it reading. What does divine want you to know? Six of Pentacles. New opportunities are on your way. Gifts are on the way. People are coming to repay their debts. Things are going to be balanced. The first card we saw was what? The 14, the Temperance card, the Balance card, two cups being poured back and forth, weighing and measuring, making sure that we see the water flow back and forth in this kind of infinite flow. And I feel like that is one of the most beautiful divine twin flame cards in the deck. That is what I believe divine does for us while we are, you know, in our separate spaces and in our separate energies as twins on this planet, and, you know, not in the oneness and the wholeness of what we are in the heavens. Divine is keeping us flowing. And I think that it's really our job to trust that anything that is out of balance will be rebalanced. That's just kind of like a law of the universe. But I think even on a grander scale, that is a promise from divine. And whatever it is that is meant to come your way will come. The first card we see has the divine balance in the cosmos, you know, in the big picture, and the last card we see has even down to the smallest, most minute detail that a fairy could carry, everything is working out for the best. And what I really love is I think this says, you know, this flow, this magic that's about to, wow, it's a flood. It's a flood. And I mean that in a spiritual way here, guys. Look, this is the same background. You see, this is like the same forest, and you can actually see they've gone just ahead of you. I think you're like somewhere back there. Can I see you anywhere? No, I can't see you. But yeah, I think you're somewhere back there. And it's funny because you don't realize, but I feel like there's this lightness and it's like you don't realize you're following these guardian angels. Wow. And I'm holding up 6 and 9 talking about balance. Ah, this is beautiful. I hope this was really encouraging to somebody who needed it. But if you're still confused and you're like, well, what does this mean for me in reunion and my divine masculine? I really suggest that you wait to the end of this video and click the video that comes up at the end. On the end screens, there's usually 2 or 3 videos that are going to come up. I really recommend you pick one of those videos to watch. I say that because I think that I have a word for you, and I was actually going to go live, but I started to get almost like Bruce Almighty when he was like made God of his little town and he could hear all the prayers. It was like the moment I sat down trying to pick a deck, I hadn't even finished. This is my setup for when I do personals. This is not even a normal setup. It was just like somebody needs me, but I don't know which of these questions is it. And so I think that you do need to hear from us. I think you do need some truth. And if you wait to the end of the video and click the video that draws your attention the most, whether it's a short one, a long one, whatever time you've got, get a word from us tonight. Because I believe that we as light workers in union who want you to have the healthiest journey possible, even if that means you have to do it without us, I think that we can help you with this moment that feels like it's bigger than waiting for the next answer or the next potential probability of what could possibly come. I think this is saying, no, something's about to happen. You know it. And you need some sound, solid advice from someone who understands your journey. So that's my suggestion to you. I hope this was a blessing. I want you to know that if you need me, I am booking for, well, I mean, if anybody sees this at any point, you're going to probably see this in the future too, but I'm probably booking for next week then as well. But I have bookings open. I have phone calls, tarot readings we can do. My booking list for personal readings is completely clear. And my business course is available. So if you need to learn how to build a business, how to create a business so that you can start to work from home, but you're like, I don't have a business idea yet, get the business builder course. It's only $44 right now. And if you're like, I'm not really interested in that, but I do feel like I need something from you and I don't think it's a reading, it's probably the Reunion Journey Toolkit, okay? So again, Reunion Journey Toolkit, assessments to help you figure out where you are on the reunion journey and make sense of it in the real world, business builder course for anybody who's wanting to create a business but really doesn't know where to start. You can do the full 5 module course, or you can do the first 3. I think is a great opportunity to start building something. And then again, if you want to book with me a phone call or a phone reading or even a recorded reading, you can get it very quickly. So if you need me like ASAP or you need something faster, I have exclusives and all that too. Check out my website. Just whatever you need from me. If you cannot find it in a free reading and you think you need to work with me in a different way, it's all there. And if you're like, I still don't know, just email me, okay? thefierygrace@gmail.com. That's everything I can think of, everything I think that you might need. So I'm going to get going. Shabbat Shalom to anybody who celebrates, what I'll say. And thank you, by the way, to all of my members, my channel members. I just wanted to let you guys know that your continued support, it means everything because it helps keep readings like this free, readings that people didn't even know they needed until they got it. And I hope that one of you subscribers or, new viewers out there would be willing to go ahead and say thank you to a member because they rock. They really keep all of this going for everybody. And I'm so grateful. So I love you guys. Shout out to Sally O, who has, I believe, won the Uncut Gems contest. And I will be announcing the winner of the November comment signature contest in a few days, like in the next reading, okay? If you made it all the way, I want you to put anything in the comments that has wings. So don't forget to leave your comment signature and put something that has wings in the comments, okay? I love you. I wish you the best of luck with whatever this is that's about to come in. But honestly, do you really think you need it? Look at this. You're going to do great. Talk to you later. Peace.